everybody, welcome to BrickVault. Today is a fun little episode because I get to show you guys this Republic fighter tank. Officially its name is the TX-130, and though this vehicle never graced the big screens, it did appear in Battlefront, Battlefront 2, the Clone Wars game, also Battlefront Elite Squadron, and has been shown off many times in the extended universe, enough that LEGO has actually made several of these tanks as sets before, including one that came out pretty recently. This one, however, is just way more accurate and looks a lot cooler, and I think it's definitely a big improvement. This build can be found at our web store, www.brickvault.toys, where we sell the PDF step-by-step instructions as well as a parts list for uploading and ordering your pieces online. And this isn't just the Republic fighter tank that you'd be getting instructions for. Lucas has also made the Imperial colored version as well. And I think I'm getting ahead of myself, but yes, this build was designed by the creator Lucas, and if you are a regular at this channel or have seen some of our other episodes, you'll know him as the guy that does all of those minifig scale Batmobiles. Getting instructions at our web store really helps support us here at the channel, as well as the very talented builders that spend their time making these incredible MOCs like Lucas here. So let's jump back into the details of this model, and like always, we can give you a sense of how big it is. It's built at pretty much perfect minifig scale, which means all of the ships that are flashing by the screen right now match up just right with how big this tank would be. And you can see that it is not that big of a tank. Probably the best example of this is when you see it next to the droid tank and it looks about maybe half the size. Also, pretty recently, the Republic fighter tank came out as a set, and why not do a comparison? They're almost the exact same size when you look at them next to each other, but even looking at it here from the top down, you can really tell that the rigid shape of the Republic tank is captured so much better with Lucas's version. I'd probably say the biggest difference between them, or at least the part that really stands out, is definitely the hull or the nose of the tank. It feels a lot more accurate, and also included with the parts list, if you were to order this, is the stickers. If you wanted to attach stickers, personally we didn't feel like it, but it definitely would add a bit of extra detailing if you wanted to push it that way. As for the functions of this vehicle, first off, you can open up the top hatch, and just like in the game or wherever the heck you saw this Republic fighter tank, you can have a clone trooper sitting out the top and manning that beam cannon. From here, the figure technically isn't studded in anywhere. He's just kind of holding himself up with his arms, but it works well enough. It doesn't feel particularly loose. And then moving towards the back, the weakest area of the tank, you can open up the hatch and see the inside. It's a relatively small opening, but on the inside there are two levers and a little printed piece for a control console, and though the cockpit doesn't open up very easily, you can pull out a couple of pieces and get a clone trooper on the inside. Now for the last interactive or play function, you can move the two larger cannons on the side of the head of this tank, though they are only studded in by one stud, so you just gotta be careful, make sure you don't knock them off, and generally speaking they stay put pretty well. Once again, while we are looking at the head of this tank, I have to say this is probably the strongest point, at least for me. Those tall sloped corners in white that make up the snout are a great technique, and the white wing plates or plate wedges used to create the definition of the eyes or openings makes this Republic fighter tank here undeniably recognizable. From a minifig eye view, this thing does look pretty darn intimidating when staring down the front, but to say that the front or face of this build is the only strong point would totally be a lie. The sides really do have some wonderful angles. The sloped pieces are mostly hard edge and they don't have too many curves, which is a good thing, and both sides cant inward just a little bit. They're stuck that way, though I think maybe this thing in universe had a little bit more flexibility there. It's not really possible in a Lego model. And then I also really like that extra little detail for those red fins in the very back. While we're here, this is a closer look at the detailings for this back hatch that can open. The gray detailing doesn't look totally circular when you look very, very close at it, but those corner round 1x1 tiles really do make it for me. And there are several other details that I think are definitely worth taking a closer look at, but let's handle this model. You can see that I'm just kind of bumping it around by one hand. It's very, very, very solid. It feels almost like a rock pretty much, aside from those little back fins breaking off because they are only attached by one stud, and once again the side cannons can come off as well. The hatch seems pretty good. It kind of catches a little bit when you close it, not a big deal, but yeah, this thing is a rock. It really is strong. You can hold it from any little extremity pretty much that you want, and there you go. MOCs almost always aren't as strong as a Lego set, but with a little bit of knowledge on how this thing was put together, it's feels like it's just as playable as anything else. Anyways, guys, this was a really fun set to put together. I think it was pretty easy compared to maybe some of the other ones that we've got up in our web store. Yet I wouldn't say this build has any detractions in detail whatsoever, and I think that's a really good sign of a talented builder, where you can make something look amazing and also come together in a pretty logical and straightforward fashion. So thanks a lot, Lucas, for putting this together. Thanks a lot, everybody, for watching and staying this long in the episode. Remember, our web store is www.brickvault.toys, and if you enjoy our content, you can always like or subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what kinds of builds you want to see us do in the future, and thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time at BrickVault.